folks, we are back at Segerstrom High School, the scene of the fundamental game. Godinez in the lead by 10 points, 16-6 here. As they're and John, they're shooting T-shirts into the crowd with the pressure gun there. I love it. They got a really good home crowd here tonight. It's a real exciting ball game again. Peter Pigskin Hebner along with John Hitman Harkar on Channel 31 SAUSD TV. We are here shortly about to start the second half, and it's always fun when we got a good, tightly played game here, and they got a good crowd turnout here for the big fundamental game. Again, these are the two newest schools in the city of Santa Ana, and again, you got a lot of kids down there that probably played youth football together, Pee-wee football, junior All-American. They know each other. There's a lot of good rivalries, a lot of friendships, but they're crosstown rivalries now because they're on different schools with different teams, and these are the games that you remember. These are the memories that you keep for a lifetime. When in the big the big rivalry games, which of course this is one.
Well, whether you played together when you're young, all bets are off. This high school football. Kids go after each other no matter where you grew up or who you grew up with. Now, what I'm looking forward to see if Coach K sticks to his guns, run the ball. It's been successful. I want to see if Coach Matsurenko has an answer for that, to be able to plug holes and stop them and open up his offense. That's going to be the key. Who has more energy in the second half? Who wants it more?
Well, like you said earlier before the game began, and like we were discussing, Matsurenko mentioned that the key to their victory tonight would be them stopping the option. And they've run a few option plays. Mostly, Godinez has really done they've done a few pitch outs, hands off to mostly their deep backs out of the I formation. And they've just done a really good job of controlling that line of scrimmage and carving out even some narrow lanes that their running backs, especially Rye, have been able to hit nicely and move in there. Even if it's a narrow lane, they make the most out of it. And they just do a really good job of following their blockers and setting up with that blocking help. That's a sign of a good coach, a well-coached offense. And again, like I said, they like to keep the ball on the ground. They like to keep their offense in the field, like to turn up the clock. If they have nice, long, time-consuming drives and ends up in points, that's exactly what they want, Godinez. And if they get that, that's control of the football game. That's what they want, and that's what they're going to try to do. I would think. I think they're going to stick with that running game, like you said.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. Ball control. They want to control the time. They want to control the clock. They want to keep the ball. That way, it keeps the ball out of the hands of the Segerstrom offense. They can be potent. We've seen it. Now it's just a matter of who wants it more in the second half. Godinez seems to be pumped up, but let's see if they can keep that energy and that motion going.
Again, Godinez not very prolific through the air this season. Again, coming in this game, they're only about a little less than 900 yards per game throwing the football, so not high numbers. And Hughesar, the quarterback, again, he's well under 50%. He's even under 40% throwing the football. Only about 37% of his passes come in this game complete, so he's not a sure-handed thrower, but he can run. He does run, and again, he's the second leading rusher on this team, as is Placentia on his team for Segerstrom. So that could be a good thing. That could be a bad thing when your quarterback is the second leading rusher on your squad. But Hughesar this season coming in this game, let's see, he's got 31 for 43. Rushing the football, 31 touches, 143 yards for 4.6 yards a carry. That's pretty good. He's averaging about 48 yards a game. That's a lot of running for a quarterback. His longest run this season so far, 25 yards, and he's got 3 rushing touchdowns to his credit. So he does it in more ways than one, just than through the air. So he is a little bit versatile. He has happy feet. He's not afraid to run it when he knows he's got the chance to do it and do it well. He does it well when he does it.
I'm just anxious to see how Navarro, how his knee is, if Placentia, if he's good to go in the second half, because those two guys are key for this offense. And without them, I'm not sure they can move the balls effectively.
All right, kicking off. Defending the south goal to start here the second half. The visiting in white, dress whites, Segerstrom Jaguars. Good kick, good foot into it. Taking her on the 4-yard line or so. Going right down the middle, and he gets kind of tripped up early, falls forward up at the 25-yard line. A good head of steam going, nice return there. Good job by, let's see here, I think number 56. Let's see here, had that return. 30, I can't. Those numbers are just too thick and wide for me. 28. 28. Pedro Leon. Pedro is a sophomore, 5'11", 170 pounds. Again, not an excessively big side, a big squad there for Godinez. They got a few big guys. One of the bigger guys is number 58, pretty tall kid too here, is Joel Yamarillo. Yamarillo is defensive lineman, sophomore, 5'7", 235. Looks taller than that to me, but he's got some good size to him. Number 58, yeah, 58, they list him as 5'7". He's got to be taller than that to my eyes, even though I'm high up here. He looks taller than that. He's certainly big. He certainly has that size. Okay, 1st and 10 for the 25. Down the middle they go. Carrying guys with him, shaking off tackles, still on his feet, still rolling. Look out, breaking out. This is Raya. Still grabbing guys with him, missed tackles and bouncing off of him. He does not take no for an answer. Hire him for a sales position tomorrow. He gets out to across the 50. That is a 31-yard scamper. And oh man, we have litter on the field. We got some yellow laundry there, John. Not good.
Well, you know what? This is, I'll be the flag that's going to help the defense. This is a stand they need to make. This is going to turn the tide of the game.
I agree.
This is
not the first time this has happened on a good play for them too on the ground.
Yeah, if Segerstrom gets scored on, it's going to deflate them a little bit and it's going to put them in more of a hole. And I don't know if they'll be able to come back the way Godinez is playing. They have such energy and such enthusiasm in their plays that the guy doesn't want to stop. They run through tackles, and that's poor tackling by Segerstrom.
And let me tell you something. Poor tackling continues for Segerstrom, but these penalties, and again we saw about a 12 or 13-yard nice, pretty scamper in the first quarter nullified by a penalty. Your Godinez, you got to watch that. You got 3 receivers, and they usually hardly ever line up that way, but they keep it on the ground. Down the middle they go, slicing forward for a few. Knocking him to the ground is Chris Nito. Nito, who plays defensive end. He's also their long snapper, and he's also attracting some attention from 4-year schools, from colleges, for his long snapping capabilities. That's a pretty good talent if you can find somebody who's really good at it for kickoffs, probably for field goals and for punting. He's the man for that, and he's very good at it. All right, 2nd down, 15 yards to go for the 1st down. They're snapping the ball from their own 20. Again, I formation and split receivers for the Grizzlies in black. Deep pitch. Oh man, hang on that ball. Look out, spun around, down he goes. That's number 5. That's one against, once again, Aaron Raya, who's been lining up his tailback all night here tonight. Raya, maybe a couple yards. He just lost control of that ball for a second, but he got the lucky bounce. He picked it up back right away. Look out. Sometimes that ball doesn't always bounce your way, John, as you know.
No, of course I know, but now it's time for the defense to step up and not give up a big play.
Yeah, key play here. Again, if you're, Segerstrom down 16-6. And again, it's 2 touchdowns to 1, but again, you had the two-point conversions, good for Godinez, and a missed one there by Segerstrom. So still a 2-score game if you're the Jaguars. 3rd down and 15 from the 20. Taking their time on a snap here. They come with split receivers here. He's in trouble. Down he goes. The blocking breaks down, and he just gets smothered. And the quarterback, Huzar, he gets smothered by more than one guy, about 2 or 3 there. And he just ran out of time quick. Like Mo of the Three Stooges once said, we ain't going nowhere fast.
And that's always not a good thing, but you know what? This was a good stop for the defense. Get the ball back, establish your offense, because you got the ability to run. What I'd like to see is one of these teams open up and pass.
That's one of the tallest and biggest punters I've seen for a high school team ever. He is in there booting it in the shadow of his own goalpost, standing early in his end zone there, or in front of his end zone. A lot of pressure there, but he gets it away. A good high punt. Takes a definite Godinez big-time bounce. There will be no return. It'll bounce out of bounds, so a very good punt. It goes from the 12 to the 40, so 38-48, about a 49-yard punt. No return. Very nice there off the foot of the punter, and he does his job and he does it well. So Godinez, their punter here, let's see here. Not sure who it is, but he did a good job. Didn't get his number there. Good field position for the Jaguars here. They need to do something with it. 9:15 remains here in the 3rd quarter. Kind of a semi-busted play there, didn't get much. Again, the blocking just kind of broke down. They penetrated a loss of yardage. It was in the hands of Ben Lopez, the running back, but Ben couldn't really do much with it. Down he goes, lost about 2.
I still don't understand why they're not spreading out their offense. Segerstrom has the ability to throw. We saw that versus Savannah a little bit. But I think what they need to do is just spread that defense out, because they're getting that bunch formation, and it's drawing the defense all directly in.
Lopez coming in the game, 20 touches on the ground, 110 yards so far this season in 3 games. Dragging guys with him there on the right side of the field. They are near the first down there. They push it out to near midfield there. Close to it was Navarro, who was a little bit hurt and shaken up in the first game. He's back on the field now. Again, Navarro coming in the game, 35 touches, 441 yards. Clearly the leading rusher on this team, averaging 12.6 yards per carry, averaging 147 yards per game. Very nice numbers. His longest run of the season is 77. The guy that had the touch before that, Ben Lopez, again 20 for touches for 110 yards. And he got thumped in hard there on the left side of the field. Down goes the ball carrier. And that was number 22, Justin Young, who's only had 1 or 2 touches early in the first half here. Gets one here. Isn't able to do much with it. And a good stay with it. And again, the linebacking crew and the defensive ends there have been doing a good job of lateral pursuit, sideways running, and bringing down the ball carriers here tonight. But yeah, the Justin Young, Ben Lopez, averaging 5.5 yards per carry, who we saw on the 2 previous plays. 37 yards a game. His longest run of the season so far, 34 yards. He's doing a pretty good job for him too. It's always a good stable of runners here for the Jaguars. Jaguars, a little bit of off-tackle misdirection run there. Didn't really fool anybody as they pile up. The defenders unpile off of him, and the main perpetrator in the play there was Alexis Medina. For Godinez, he's a linebacker, junior, 5'10", 215 pounds. Good-sized kid for a linebacker for a high school kid. Good set of wheels on him, too, for his size. Makes a nice stop here. But not before they did enough damage for the first down. They did get it. They only needed a couple yards. They got it. And again, the backup quarterback is in there. Placentia still on the sidelines. He's regularly the starter. He is not playing right now. He's still nursing his injury, probably his leg. Grizzlies again thump him. They lose about 1 yard. It was number 33 on the carry there. 33 was Ben Lopez. Number 70 crunched him. Jonathan Garcia, defensive lineman, 5'11", junior, 305 pounds. He packs a lot of punch and a lot of weight on that frame. Good stop by him. One loss of 1 yard. 2 wingbacks are in. And this is on the dash. This is Navarro trying to get a lane there on the outside. He finds a lateral lane, but not a forwards lane. Down he goes. He gets a few yards, but not much more than that. As a good amount of running there for not a lot of yards, but he did all he could with with the room that he had and the blocking up that he had.
Well, you right now in this situation, you got to try to move the chains. I still am wondering why they're not spreading the offense out, which in turn spread the defense out and maybe open up gaps for that quick option. Move that ball a little bit quicker and gain more confidence in your offense.
This is not the first time we've seen a flagrant personal foul against the Grizzlies. They another 15 yards, so they're going to get the first down by way of the penalty, and Seagramson will take any way they can get it right now. Very nice opportunity for them here just outside the 30. If you're the Grizzlies, you're only hurting yourself and you're hurting your costs here. You can't afford this. This is still a tight game. You're up, but you're not up tremendously. You're only up by 10. Don't take this for granted. Don't play a sloppy football game. They're doing that right now. They need to control that. Be careful. All right, so maybe a yard or so. We'll call it a long one, a short 2. Ball spotted up at the 28-yard line there for the Jaguars in white. Get to the lineman here again from left to right in just a minute. Second down and about 9 yards to go from the plus 28-yard line. Again, your backup quarterback is still in there as they kind of fake the give to one guy, and it goes kind of like an angled run there down the middle of the field there by number 22, Justin Young. Again, the quarterback in there taking the snaps there is Justin Knipp. And I don't think they're going to ask too many passes out of Justin Knipp because, again, it's mainly a running squad anyway. They are talented at running the ball. They don't throw it all that much. And Justin, again, is the backup. He's not used to throwing all that much in a regular season game. But he's in there now because of an injury to Placentia. 3rd and 2. Key play here. Scampering on the inside. Following his blocking and gets that good inside lane, falls forward as he goes down. Nice job by him. The ball carrier gets down about the 15-yard line. First down. They're moving the chains, like you said, John. That's what they want to do. They're doing it.
No, just like the first half. It's a battle. It's a battle of the trenches. Whoever's going to win the front is going to win the game.
That's nothing new to football. You control the line of scrimmage, chances are you will win the game. You can have average talent in that backfield and your quarterback. If you control the line of scrimmage, you're going to give them every opportunity to win. Little bit of miscommunication there on the offensive line there. Good penetration there by Godinez. They stop him here on the first down run. No gain. A couple guys in on that stop, including big number 70, laying the lumber, Jonathan Garcia. Nice stop by him.
Hey, Peter.
Defensive tackle.
Did you know this is called the Fundamental Bowl?
Yes, I do.
So they're doing the fundamental
game
of offense. Run the ball. Control the line.
Good fundamentals in the fundamental game.
Fundamental in the Fundamental Bowl.
That's a pretty good one. I like that, John. All right. Double tight. Oh, man, he loses the ball as he goes down, as he gets sacked. The ball just kind of fell forward as he fell back, as got thrashed back. It was a live ball, and it's recovered by Godinez. The third turnover on the ground. One in each quarter here by Segerstrom. And again, a big shot in the arm and a big break. Scooped up there by, I think, number 50. Of the Godinez Grizzlies. So a nice hit jars the ball loose, and it's nestled in the arms of Alfonso Garcia, the defensive lineman. He's only a sophomore. They might be a young squad, but they're a heads-up squad, and they take possession football here at a very key time in the game. Wow.
It's well-taught football. Go to the ball. Everybody to the ball. And that turnover could have hurt Segerstrom's chances to come back in this game.
I agree, and if these guys right here, Godinez, can take a nice, long, time-consuming, methodical drive and score, they will be taking even more firm control of the football game. That's what they want, and that's what they need right now. A couple yards off tackle to the left. Good penetration there on the right side of the defense there for Segerstrom. A couple guys, including 1 yard gain. Canary Drayton, main perpetrator of the play, middle linebacker there for the Jaguars. He's a junior, 205 pounds, stands 6'1", makes a nice stop. Clock needs to tick here in this quick-moving third quarter. We're at 4:15 and ticking. And again, when you have two sides that are running the ball a lot, not a lot of plays are going out of bounds. Of course, when you run a play and it goes out of bounds, that stops the clock. When you run running plays and often do huddles and it's not quick huddle, your clock is ticking. When running plays, of course, end on the field, clock continues to tick. So it's been a quick moving here. Third quarter, I formation. We have a wing back to the left side. Give us to the running back. He's fighting, clawing, scratching for yards, getting what he can, but he might just get back to the original line of scrimmage. If that, probably no gain. And just a wave of white shirts there and to bring him down. Nice job by the defense. The ball carrier did all he could, but just didn't really have the blocking help. A couple perpetrators in there, including Omar Navarro. And he also had help from 85. 85 is defensive end Chris Nito. Nito, again, plays a couple positions, tight end, defensive end, and again, the long snapper. And again, we have a kid down here, unfortunately, for Godinez, who's kind of flat on his back, but he's not motionless. He's moving around a little bit, but he's hurt. So we'll see what's going on with that.
Well, you know what it looks like to me, Peter, that Coach Masarenka put together a little bit of a tighter defensive scheme, knowing that they're going to run the ball, that their goal is, Coach K's goal is to run the clock out. You got the lead, keep the ball on the ground, you know your offense is moving the ball, give them that confidence, let them keep moving that ball, and in the end, if you control it enough, you're going to come out on top.
Speaking about Drayton, Canary Drayton is actually one of the tackles leader here for the Jaguars. He's got, see here, 3 solo tackles, 14 assisted, so for a total about 17 tackles here on the season so far. So he's been the busiest guy on the defense for the most part. And after him, actually, I take that back. He's the second most leading tackler, and then the first one with the most tackles on the season coming is Lorenzo Sanchez. We haven't heard from him too much here tonight. He's a defensive back, but he is the leading tackler on this side for the Godinez, or for the Jaguars, Segerstrom Jaguars. 3 assisted and 3 solo tackles and 20 assisted tackles for a total of 23. Those have been the busiest guys on defense this season so far in 3 games, coming in this game on the defense, as there are defenses on the field right now for Segerstrom. Segerstrom, again, we see their offensive attack is on the ground, and I've covered their games for the last 4 seasons, and with Segerstrom and they're trailing in this game, it's never really one guy. I mean, you can stop one guy, but again, you got other guys that might not have as many touches, but their average yards per carry is pretty good. And as I was mentioning to Masarenka before this game began, this is, and I've watched a lot of football games over the last 20 years. I've been announcing football with other cable companies, other areas of the Southland for a long time, basically since 1991, with the exception of a couple of years. I don't think I've ever seen a more well-coached offensive line than I have seen over the last 4 or 5 seasons here than I have with Segerstrom. Whether they lose or not tonight, tonight, whether they win or not tonight, that's not going to change in my opinion, because they just, it's not just their strength, but their footwork and their balance and everything. They are really well coached in that department, and that's the reason why they get to these gaping holes and these gaping gains. Again, they've been controlled here tonight, but up to this point, over the last few seasons, it's not always one guy. If you stop one guy, they've got a good stable of runners that have got a high, yards per carry average, and I've seen them blow back Segerstrom defensive lines that are outweighing by 20 or 30, 40 pounds. That's not common. They're not doing that tonight so much, but I have seen it over the last few seasons. They're known for that. But my point is, it's one of the best coaching I've seen as far as offensive line play goes, but they're struggling here a little bit tonight, John.
Well, I agree exactly what you say. You can't have just one offensive player that makes the plays. I mean, you can't, because that gives the defense an opportunity to focus on that person. You need multiple people. Now, I do agree with you with Coach Masarenka's, offensive line and his coaching. They are solid. However, tonight, it seems like Coach K has found that little slip in the hole.
Yeah.
He found his niche. He found his niche. He found the way to stop this offense. Now, if they spread it out once again, and I've said this many times, instead of bunching, spread it a little bit, it will spread that defense out and open a little bit more holes and give Navarro, who has a great ability to skip tackles, to shake tackles, to find holes, give him more room to run. Give him more room to run, he's deadly. We saw that versus Savannah. He ran the house. Give him more room to run, then that's going to help you guys win this game.
So they're walking him off. It looks like going to the lineman here. I think it's number 82. It's hard to see those numbers. Maybe 88. I can't really tell. 30. It's either begins with a 3 or an 8 on his jersey there. It's just hard to see the way he's walking right now. 36. Pardon me. 36. My eyes deceive me. Wish they just had smaller numbers on their jersey. Actually, would help. As strange as that sounds. 36 there for Godinez is Pablo Ortiz, who's definitely one of the leaders on this squad. Tight end, off he comes. All right, 3rd down and 8. I formation they come. 2 receivers, split receivers. Strong side is the left side here. They're snapping the ball from their own 16-yard line. Down the middle they go. It's incomplete, and it was just off target. Nowhere near the intended receiver. Intended receiver was number 48, Jonathan Braxton, I believe. 48. Ricardo Aguilar.
But have you noticed when any of these teams try to throw the ball, Peter, they're hesitant. They're gun shy of dropping back and just gunning the ball in. That all the throws have been high. They're trying to avoid interceptions. These two teams are pure run teams.
And again, they got good returners there. One thing that Segerstrom is pretty talented at is returning punts when they get when they have a little bit of room to work with. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see okay, we have again, penalty problems here on the side of Godinez. So false start, you can't afford to have a false start when you're already punting from rather deep in your own side. You got to be careful here. These penalties, we don't have any stats in front of us, but I'm going to guess they've got at least probably 75 yards of penalties on them here today, because they've at least had 2 15-yard personal fouls in this game so far. You got to control that. You might be able to get away with it, but in the tight games and the close games, you're not going to be able to get away with that. They punted away from the return man wisely. So there's no return. Punted out of bounds and around but again, Segerstrom will still be working in positive territory here. They're already in enemy territory about at the 47-yard line. So no return, but still very nice field position. Any coach will take it at the plus 47-yard line to start a drive. That's a pretty good deal.
Always. If I can work with a half a field, I'll work with a half a field. It's better than 100 yards. That's
for sure. So good field position. They need to take advantage of it, though. They're down by 2 scores, 16-6. It's still a lead here for Godinez. 1st and 10 from the plus 47 here for the Jaguars. And again, I believe their backup is still in there at quarterback. And that is Justin Knipp. Wing set, double wing, single back set they come. Yep, backup is still there. Placenta's still sidelined with his injury. Look out, the give as he did a little bit of angle running there, twist and run. Nobody's going to touch him. There's no flags in the field. He's in the end zone. It's a touchdown. That is Omar Navarro, who had a bit of an injury shakeup in the first half. He looks perfectly healthy here to me on the second half. A one-play drive, a 47-yard scamper for Navarro, and this game is a lot tighter than just a moment ago. Wow.
I don't think that injury is hurting him too much anymore. That was a phenomenal cutback against the grain. Had the defense over pursuing, find the open hole on the left side, run into the end zone.
16-12 right now, and if I am Segerstrom, I'm going to kick because it's only 4 points right now. You make it, you're within 3, so you can tie with the field goal. No reason to go for a 2-pointer here. Just kick it through. We have a whistle here, and it's time a timeout is taken, surprisingly, before the conversion here. That's kind of interesting and weird. I mean, are they going to discuss going for a 2-pointer? I wouldn't do that. It's too early for that. And there's no reason for it. You get within 3, you get within 3, but they're gonna strangely they take a timeout here.
In my opinion, Peter, they should just not take the points off the board, kick a field goal, get within another field goal. If worse comes to worse, you tie the game, take it into overtime, and then you win it on the last possession.
Well, they gave up the big play, and again, Segerstrom is known for their big plays, running the ball. We just saw it there, like with that nice cut, like you said. And again, the Godinez Grizzlies, to a certain point, you could say, have been somewhat lucky, although they played a good game here today. But I'm not surprised that a big breakout play has happened against them again. So now they're in a different situation. A 3-point game is a lot different than a 10-point game. And again, they've had their problems with penalties here today. And, you know, they can let this game, I hope I'm wrong, but they could let this game slip away if they continue with that. They can't afford to continue with that. There's still plenty of game here to go. They need to clean that up. If they don't, they may be looking at the losing end of a game that they should have won. But it's too early to say, but we'll find out. So in for the booting duties is number 8, Adrian Avila.
This is a smart decision.
Yes, it is. No need to go for 2. Boots it through, and Avila, who's got a really good leg on him. The board is getting tighter. It's like they're slowly getting more even and losing a little bit more control of this game. But again, they have partly themselves to blame for the penalties.
This might come down to conditioning.
That could be. All right, good kickoff here, taking about the 7-yard line. Looking for some room here, trying to get some space on the right side. He gets pedro down early. Hit him hard, hit him low. Wasn't about to let him go. Nice stop there.
Pedro Leon tripped up at the 20.
As Pedro Leon on the return here, first guy that got a hand on him, got him right around the shin and brought him down. That's the way it's supposed to be done.
Yeah, just a great open field tackle. I mean, that's what you need to do when you're on the special teams.
So the Godinez Grizzlies snapping the ball here. Looks like their biggest offensive lineman's got a big number 78 there. Who is that? 78 is Kylan Escatel, offensive lineman, sophomore, 5'10", 270. He looks bigger than that to me. So again, I think they're doing some platooning there down on the line. It's not always the same 5 guys, and that's good because that can be fresh bodies there. But they got strong side to the left there. They're running it to the left. A little bit of traffic there, kind of bunch up. The blocking breaks down a little bit. They flatten them early. Maybe a yard of that. It takes about 2 or 3 white shirts to bring them down. Good play calling, but the blocking just wasn't there. That was working earlier in the game. It's not working as well. That was Aaron Araya on the dash there. Not much there. Maybe a half a yard.
Once again, I think it goes back to Coach Masarenka's game plan at halftime. They're really clogging holes, but I also think that Godinez is running out of steam a little bit. They're not how they were in the first quarter.
I think you're right about that. They seem to get a little bit worn as the game goes on here. Second down. We'll call 8 yards to go. They got about a yard and a half on that, a little bit longer than I thought. So Hughes, the quarterback, gives to his up man, and he just gets smothered there and crunched. Not much, a little bit of body language after the game, a little bit of fighting spirit after the whistle was blown, but the ball is dead, and maybe an extra yard there. Again, Kylan Escatel, who is one of the offensive linemen, is in there, led the blocking charge. So again, we have the regular linemen in there are Alfredo Gallardo, left to right, Jason Aravallo, left guard. Center is usually Alfonso Garcia. Kevin Ramirez is usually the right guard, and the right tackle is usually Jose Vera. But again, Coach K likes to platoon a little bit on that offensive line. It's not always the same 5 guys, but those are the regularly the offensive line starters for the Grizzlies in black. So the Grizzlies will call a timeout here and kind of recharge and congregate and get some water and get some refreshment here. Perfect picture postcard, perfect night for football. Like I said earlier, gray skies, a little bit of wind. It's cool. just kind of went from summer this week to fall.
You know, it's actually a welcome fall.
It is.
Especially, you know, me being a football player for so long, nights like this are perfect. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. You got a nice breeze. It's a beautiful night. The grass is not, it's just the perfect night for football, high school football.
Well, last Saturday I was in Salt Lake visiting family. My family was out there, and my dad and I got tickets to go see University of Utah versus Oregon State. 51-48 in overtime. It was Utah only led one time in the game, and they possessed the ball in the first possession, kicked the field goal. And of course, if you're you know, when they flip for the you know, who possesses it first, if I'm a college coach, I would always want to go second. I would always want to know what the first team is doing, what my opponents have done after their possession, know what I got to do. And that's just wise coaching. Then Oregon got the ball, and I think on the third play they fired it into the end zone. They had like 5 passing touchdowns. They have arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the country, without question. He should be getting a lot more attention. Sean Mannon for Oregon State. The guy is a beast. Puts it up there, and it's incomplete. A flag is thrown. There was a little bit of contact, but I'm surprised the flag was thrown. And
see, Peter, I don't agree with that play. You know,
intended receiver.
The receiver turned into the DB. The ball was overthrown. It was uncatchable. And either way, you know, me being a defensive back through college and high school, you know, that's an unnecessary flag. I mean, you got to let the guys play.
Yeah.
And if the ball's overthrown, he can't catch it. Why throw a flag? That makes no sense.
Exactly. So the Grizzlies catch a big break here. They get the 15 yards on their favor there, and that's the first time we've seen anything flagrant like that. Or I should say flagrant, but of a 15-yard nature against the Jaguars here tonight. But it comes at an opportune time here for the Grizzlies. 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line after that first down by way of the penalty. This is Raya running in traffic as he scampers his way forward for about a good 5 or 6 yards. You know, I always thought that would be a good name for an album, Running in Traffic.
Running in traffic? Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. It depends upon what era you're talking about, Peter.
But he gets his yards in traffic, and he pushes his guys up for about a gain of 6. Not bad for Raya. He's been the mainstay here tonight. It's been a variety of guys running the ball, but he's been number one. I'm going to stab a guess and say he's got probably at least 70 yards on the night, maybe somewhere around there. He's had a good night. Again, on the run here, he was always running on the deep position. He needed 4 for the first down. He gets about 5, crashes forward, good blocking help. And he gets his yards to keep possession of the football and keep them moving the sticks and keep the clock moving and keep the drive alive. Godinez on the march. Look out.
Well, and this is exactly what they need to do. Run the clock down. Yes, you have a slim lead at 3 points. If you can put the ball in the end zone, you're going to kind of seal the deal, or be pretty close too. But if you give the ball back, give the ball back, then you have an opportunity to lose this game.
But they're doing it their way. Husar looking at 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line, the plus 49. And this is Raya. Not Raya. This is a different guy, and it just takes a host of 3 or 4 guys to bring him down. Wow, good penetration by more than one man. That was Nathaniel Jordan on the dash, and you ain't going nowhere. Ball carrying that previous play, not one of the breathing rushers here for Godinez. He's not in the top 4, so he's getting some touches here and getting more used to having his time on the field running the ball. For Godinez, as far as tackles go, their defensive leader on their in the tackling department is Pedro Leon with 18 solo tackles and 8 assisted tackles. Second and 14, called a short 14, a long 13 for Godinez from their own 47-yard line here to start the 4th quarter. Wind is kind of moving from the west to the east. It's been a consistently, not excessively windy night, but somewhat windy night. Oh, again, he got past that first wave. The second wave finally plug the hole and smother him there, but not before the damage is done for about a good gain of about 10 yards there. They needed 14 for the first down. But again, the first would-be tacklers are still not, they're still bouncing off them. They're still not really getting some good grasps and not really wrapping up.
It's hard anytime you let that running back get into the second level. Your front 5 or front 7 got to stop that run so your secondary can cover the receivers. Absolutely, and again, Seagerson's done a little bit better job as this game has gone on, but that kind of looked like a first quarter play where they weren't really doing a very good job of it.
3rd down and 3 yards. That was about an 11-yard gain for Godinez. They got the ball to a little bit of jumping offsides. Somebody jumped up into the neutral zone. You can't do that. It'll be offsides here against the Jaguars. We don't mean to recognize them on a negative play there or a bad play, but Marty Soberanis, linebacker, jumped offsides, and again he was stunting on the line and just anticipated it too much. So Sigerstrom has had a few penalties here tonight, not too many. I would say Godinez has probably had twice as many as they have in this game. They've had a few, but hasn't been a big factor for them here tonight. Officials kind of stalling with the ball here and talking to the sideline with Sigerstrom there for a moment here. Not sure what the issue is, but right now the quarterback comes to consult with Coach K. Again, head coach K runs his offense. He's offensive coordinator.
This is a big stop right here, 3rd and inches. Let's see if the defense got the fortitude to come and stop this run, because you know where it's going between the tackles.
Both teams need this in a big way. This is a key play of the game. They push forward for the inches that they needed. They would maintain possession on this drive. Huzar pushes forward about 2 yards. He needed inches to get it, as you said, John. And it's a 1st down for the Grizzlies, so they continue to march forward, and the clock continues to tick. And this is exactly what they want to do: churn up yards, keep possession of the ball, but most importantly, score at the end of this drive. And you'll take firmer command of this game. It's what they need and what they want. Again, 16-13. Godinez holding on to that precarious lead, as this is the closest it's been all night. Other than the tie, of course, at the beginning of the game, 0-0. A couple yards off tackle to the left side there. A couple guys involved in the stop, including number 33. 33 is Ben Lopez, one of the main perpetrators on the defense for the Jaguars. And Lopez coming in this game, 17 tackles solo and no assisted tackles. So he's been a busy guy defensively for these guys, for the Jaguars. Crunching him from behind and kind of gaining yards as he goes down. Is the ball carrier? I think it was number 6, or was it number 5? Let's see here.
I'm not sure, but they're just chipping away at the clock. That's their goal right now.
Aaron Raya got about 3 or 4.
Their goal is just to chip away at the clock. Let's move it this deep in. If we have to punt, we have to punt. Yeah. But let's pin them down. Let's just hope our defense can stop them. That's the name of the game right now.
They're doing it their way. That's exactly the way they want to do it. They're taking their time on that huddles. They want to just burn plays and burn yards. They're doing it here. Burn time, I should say. 2 tight ends are in and a wing back to the left. I formation they come. Linebackers up to the line there for Sigerstrom. They know the run's coming, and they can't stop it still. He's dragging guys with him. A nice run there, dragging a guy with him. Number 24 there on the would-be tackle was Lorenzo Sanchez. He really couldn't bring him down that early. Hung on for dear life.
That's one thing I've noticed about that kid is he gets a lot of yards after contact.
Yes, he does.
And as a strong running back, that's what you want, yards after contact.
They needed 8 yards for the 1st down. They got about 10, so Godinez. Clock continues to tick here with 6, is it 5 or 6? 8, I'm sorry, 8:04 and ticking here. Ball's at about the 21-yard line. They're really up tight right behind that quarterback, and the quarterback keeps it still on his feet there. Look out, swinging around, still keeping his balance. No, wait a minute. Okay, the ball carrier is, I was fooled. I thought the quarterback had the football. He had a couple of defenders fooled. The ball was running and fumbled away.
It was fumbled away. It got stripped out.
And he is not happy. Aaron Raya coughed it up.
This is big for Sigerstrom.
This is huge.
Right now, they need to prove something, march down the field, score.
Man, oh man, oh man. And they give it up deep in enemy territory here. So Sigerstrom's got a lot of field to work with. But again, you never know when they have one of those breakout runs. We've seen it before. They've done it plenty of times over the last few seasons. They're known for it. And they got a chance to do it with plenty of time here remaining. 8:50. There's plenty of time to have a nice long drive if it takes that. And Godinez really needed that score to take control of this football game. They didn't do it. And they cough it up at a most inopportune time and part of the field. Tries to turn the corner, couldn't quite do it, just got chased out of bounds more than tackled. That was number 2, Omar Navarro. And Navarro probably has about 60 yards on the night here tonight. He's had a good game here so far. We rested a little bit in the end of the first half there as he was shaken up here on a light injury.
You know, I think, you know, when you get a fumble on your offense and your defense gets pinned down, you know, you want to take advantage of that. And I think that's what Sigerson's doing with that run.
He went with a wing to the left side there, and they just get rocked and socked. Well, 2 guys just squirt in there, and nobody picked him up. It was big number 72, Alexis Medina. Funky Colt Medina brings him down hard. Probably about a loss of about 2 yards on that play. And good penetration by the defensive line there. They've done a pretty good job. I'd say overall, I have to say it's about 60-40. Godina's winning the line of scrimmage battle in general for both their offensive and defensive lines. They've gotten the better of Sigerson here tonight, but again, this is still anybody's game. We still have a backup there in the quarterback. Man, he got hit laterally hard. Didn't even see the guy coming from the side, but he's up quickly after the run there. Good hard clean hit there was Justin Young on the carry. And for a hard hit that looked really hard and cleanly vicious, he got out. He got up right away. Some of those hardest hits, some of the hardest hits, you kind of get up right away the quickest from.
Oh, you know, I've been hit hard and I've hit hard, but that was a great fill. That's the way a safety needs to come up and fill a gap.
He did it textbook. All right, huge play here. 4th down and 2 yards to go there, and going for it formation for their own 23. This is key here. Oh, he loses his balance and falls down, and his knee was down. And folks, of course, if your knee is down, you are down, and this drive is down. This drive is over. Godinez is going to take the ball back here on downs. That was a huge defensive stop. Omar Navarro just kind of seemed to lose his balance just for a second. I'm not sure who knocked into him, but he got cuffed there by a player in the chest, lost his balance, the knee hit the ground, and of course your knee is down, you're down, the drive ends, and Godinez takes the ball back here with 7:30, so plenty of time remains here, but they need to get firm command of this game. They're up by 3 here, again 16-13. They need and want more to put it away.
I don't understand Masarenka's play call on that one. You go to the short side of the field, you should have went to the long side of the field, spread the defense out. 2 yards is better on the long side of the field.
Deep man takes this is Raya. Raya, like a knife through soft butter, swinging guys with him, takes it as he lumbers his way down to about the 13, 12, about the 11-yard line, we'll say. How about that? About a 9 or a 10-yard. Yeah, you got the first down on first down. Any coach will take that. Got about 10.5, 11 yards on that, and they are just outside the 10-yard line. They can get the first down without getting the touchdown here. Godinez sitting pretty here with 7:21 and ticking, and they're going to I can guarantee they're going to take every second they can in this drive to burn that clock as much as they can, as quickly as they can. And why not? That's just good football, good coaching.
Just milk it as much as you can.
Absolutely. Melt that clock down as quickly and as much as you can. Make it work for you. Make the clock your friend. This is Huzar. Huzar just bullying forward there. It looks like for a second or two, some of the defenders in the middle didn't even know he had the ball. Down he goes there on the 2-yard line. Took one of the safety men to bring him down. Number 23 hit and knocked him down. That was Chris Furman, the safety. Down he went. Chris Furman this year, not much action on the defense. Furman only, a defensive face masking call, so they'll only mark it 1 yard there because of course, half the distance to the goal line. You can see the offensive players there encouraging the crowd to make some noise. So with the penalty, half the distance to the goal line gives them an extra yard. It'll be 1st and goal from the 1 for the Grizzlies. Look out. Chance to take this game back into control. And that was Huzar on the sneak there, more or less behind the left guard. In he goes. They mark it for a touchdown. He got across the plane of the goal line, and the Godinez Grizzlies are back up by, right now, by 9 points. With 6:40 here to go in the 4th quarter. As you can hear this home crowd screaming and yelling and celebrating. They've had a good game here tonight. They've had a few mistakes, a few penalties, but right now they're in good shape, 22-13. And again, they are going to go for 2 points. They're up by 9 right now, and it's not because they want to pour it on or anything like that. They just don't have that great of a kicking game, and they know what they've got with that rushing game. So this is only, he is short of the goal line. It's no good. The 2-point conversion fails to get through. But with 6:40 remaining, they'll leave it up to the defense to stop up the Jaguars. And again, the Jaguars Don't be surprised if, even though it's a 2-score game with 6:40 remaining, if you see Masarenko's offense come out running the ball. Very often I've seen short drives, 2 or 3 play drives, 1 play drives, where it's just a run and they've scored all of a sudden that quickly, keeping it on the ground. They may not change their game plan.
But can you take a chance on being able to break a big run? You got to sometime maybe open up and throw and try to get a downfield pass to move the ball.
And I don't know if we've seen maybe more than 2 or 3 passes at most here tonight. I don't think it's even been, I think it's been 2 at most plays through the air for the Jaguars. The ground game is their game, as we know. So the flag ladies here for Godinez. We got one flag that's yellow with the black G and one flag that's black with a yellow G. I love it. And a relatively short kick. Return man's trying to follow some blocking help, get some yardage on the return here, and it's just a huge, massive pile of football-playing humanity there. About 2/3 of the players on the field involved in that stop. But good field position, that helps. When you're down by 2 scores, you need all the help you can get. The Jaguars setting up shop 1st and 10 at their own 41, so relatively short field in front of them. That bodes well for them.
Well, let's maybe see if Sigerstrom's got some tricks up their sleeve. This would be a good time to use them.
I wouldn't be surprised if they run a trick play or 2. Kevin Cruz, Marcos Barajas, Alejandro Garcia is the center, Sebastian Silva, and Alex Juarez is your offensive line left to right. On the run here, look, he scampers free and he gets free. Look out, this is Young. Young puts the ball on the ground. He fumbles the ball. I think he fell and he retained possession of the ball, and he got it. He glided his way all the way down to the 30-yard line from the 41. So wow, about a 29-yard run. But again, at least they recover this one. This is that 4th fumble of the night. But this one, they do not turn it over. They maintain possession of the ball. Be careful. But he broke out. He had a nice, good outside lane there, and he hit it to the maximum. About a 29-yard pickup. We have flags. No flags, just whistles here. Whistle, and it's a timeout called by Sigerstrom, or pardon me, called by Godinez. Godinez calls timeout, and they want to. The defensive coordinator wants to consult with his troops and talk strategy with them there on the field. So right now, defensive coordinator is Tom Heathington. Again, he's an on-campus coach, or pardon me, he's an off-campus coach. It's his 4th season as the defensive coordinator for Godinez. So the Grizzlies, they've shown some good defensive prowess here, but they've also had a few plays run against them that have been from long yards, and they just got to fill those gaps, plug those holes, and continue to win that battle in the line of scrimmage. They can pull this one out. But still, there's plenty of time to do some damage. Sigerstrom's got the ball, 1st and 10 at the plus 30-yard line with 6:16 to go. They are down by 9. Here's a pitch, and you're right, John. They're going to run the trick play. He's wide open. Look out! Oh, it hit him right in the chest. He should have had that one. Incomplete. Oh, he wants that one back. Whoa, man, oh man, that was on target too. Intended receiver there for Sigerstrom was number 4, Daniel Mendez, and you couldn't have had a more pretty pass. They hit him right in the numbers, John. Oh man.
I knew they had to find something in their playbook, some little trickery, and that was wide open. A little more air into the ball, touchdown all the way.
He had his guy beat by 4 yards. Wow. I thought he had that one. Incomplete. Wow. Big number 72 has got to be the tallest guy for Sigerstrom on that offensive line. That's Alex Juarez, 6'1", looks taller than that to me, 255. This is Nip. Nip, the backup quarterback, running on a necessity. First tackler misses him, second one kind of slows him, and finally the third one comes in for the kill. But not before the damage is done. They're moving the sticks. He picks up the 1st down. And that is a key thing right there, because they need to keep this drive alive. Again, they got to get 2 scores here, but there's enough time to do it. We got 6 minutes here, so we got half the quarter remaining. We have an imbalanced backfield, a little bit of movement on the line. Flags go down as whistles sound. I think there was some offensive movement on that left side of the line. That's what the call is. False start, illegal procedure, whatever you want to call it. They'll march off 5 yards. So that'll take a bit of a breather and a bit of a break there for Godinez.
Yeah, but this is not the time when you want these slow movements and bad penalties. You're down. you're within the red zone where you were, and you need to move the ball forward and put it in the end zone.
Some of the defensive leaders on the tackles there, 7 solos and 7 assists there so far this season, coming in 3 games. The number 10, Mr. Romero, Adrian Romero, on the defensive side for the Grizzlies. Left side running there, not much there. Tried to break it past the line of scrimmage, not much doing. Maybe a loss of a half a yard. And again,
No, he actually got back to the original line of scrimmage, which wasn't a bad play. Not good blocking by the receiver, but get him back to the original line of scrimmage.
And that's usually the plays that work for them, the outside running, the corner running. But some good lateral movement there by the defensive ends and the linebackers here tonight on this part of Godinez. They've run well. They've run well with it on the side-to-side running. Short drop, he puts it up, Nip tosses it, and it's caught. It's caught. Is he inbounds? It's a question if he's inbounds. They didn't indicate that nope, it's not a touchdown. He caught the football, but he caught out of bounds. So no go. The pass is there. It was a beautiful throw by Nip, and again, this kid that's throwing the football here tonight, Justin Nip, is the backup. So obviously he's doing a good job in practice up to this point. Pass was right on target, but he just had stepped out of bounds. And again, in high school, John, as you know, you only have to have 1 foot in bounds. He didn't have either of them in. He was out of bounds.
It was
no go.
A nice throw, just a little bit too close to the sidelines. That's a tough position to throw that ball on a float.
So ruled incomplete. 3rd and 16, a huge money play right here, right now. Sigerson at the 18-yard line or so. Nip kind of falls and loses his balance. And his knee hit the ground, so he's down. So he loses yards. Terrible rush on him there. Not much protection. The left side of the line, especially breaking down in front of him. So he loses about 4 or 5 yards, actually. I thought it was more than that. They push him back to about the 23-yard line, so they're setting up for a field goal. And why not? I do it. They got a good kicker. Avila is a very talented kid. He's got a good leg on him, good strength, good accuracy. And let me tell you something, they need 2 scores. They might as well take the field goal. You have to get some points. You're down close anyway. Good kick there, kind of a line drive nature to it. It's got some distance. It's got the accuracy, and it's through.
He's got a really strong leg, and I can look for that kid to move on to the next level with that type of leg.
I was talking to Masarenga before the game. He says, he's got to work on his grades a little bit, but if he did that, this kid could go anywhere he wants. He could write his own ticket.
Everybody works together as an oiled machine.
They do onside kick it. It's got to travel 10 yards, though. And covering up very nicely and quickly is Godinez. Good job, heads up by them. I guess they kind of sort of expected it coming. One of the middle guys falls on it right away. Good job by him. Who was that? 33, I think. Yeah, 33 for Godinez here is, let's see here, Elias Mulatto. Elias, nice job by him. Crept up and just fell on it nicely as his belly mount the ball. And his Godinez Grizzlies will also take the ball at the plus 47-yard line. So sterling field position for them with 4:12. All they got to do is burn that clock, John. Make that clock your friend. And don't be surprised, folks, if you don't see one pass here. You're not going to see any receivers probably step on the field. Why not? Why shouldn't you? This is Raya. And Raya bulls forward for a few more yards there. Aaron Raya gets about 5 on first down. Not bad. Defender caught him from behind her on the legs. Good hard clean hit there by 29 is Pompeo Flores. There's a cornerback. He's a senior, 180 pounds. Flores with about 5 tackles on the game on this year so far, 2 solo and 3 assisted coming into this game. And that's Raya. Raya again off tackle with the left side, kind of gains yards as he goes down once again. And that's good for about an extra yard and a half in the process of getting brought down, and he pushes his guys out to about the 38-yard line or so, the plus 38. We have whistles here by the officials, and okay, timeout is called by Sigerson. That's at least their second timeout, maybe their third. I'm not sure if they got one left. I think they have one left, but I'm not certain on that. They may. As Coach K talking to his troops here right now.
Coach,
play your game and just eliminate the mistakes. Just don't do anything foolish down there. Don't cost us a penalty. Don't cost us, play a clean drive here. That's what we need more than anything else.
Well, as long as a running back in situations like this before, all you want to do is grip that ball. Don't let it go.
Strong side is the left, wing to the right there, and just a big pile of guys in the middle there. Not much yardage, maybe a yard, and the ball carrier got thrashed, or the quarterback got thrown out of that pile pretty back, in the opposite direction of the drive real quick. Husar just got kind of shoved out of the pile. It looks like he's okay. He's kind of stretching one of his legs, like maybe a slight cramp or something, or maybe a hamstring pull or something. But Kay is back on the field talking to his offensive players, but did they call timeout again? I guess they did, or maybe Segerson called timeout, but I think Segerson called timeout, but it's 4th down and 1 yard to go when the play will resume, so maybe, you're already at the 40, in the plus 38 yard line. I mean, you could really pin them back and rely on your defense and just, pooch kick it to the sidelines. But if I'm, call me conservative, but if I'm Godinez, I would punt. Unless you just have a poor punting game.
Well, the way that Segerson's offense has been operating, I mean, they can move the ball, but I don't think they're that much of a dead threat. If I'm Segerson's defense, I pin my ears back and I bring the kitchen sink, everything.
Well, it looks like what they're doing. Everyone's in the box there, except for one guy. 4th and 1 from the 38. I formation they come. Wing to the right. Wing to the left. Double tight ends are in. No receivers are in. They're taking their sweet time on this snap. Why not? Down the middle they go. This is Raya. Raya gets thrashed and hard, but he gets enough for the first down. He only needed 1. He got about 3. He did the job. That's all that matters. First down for the Grizzlies. A couple guys involved in the stop, including Canary Drayton, who's had more than one tackle here tonight. He's been all over the field here tonight. He's had a good night of playing on defense, or a good defensive game here tonight.
Right now, for the next 2 minutes and 55 seconds, it's a matter of ball protection. That's all it is.
Cover it up. Hang on that ball.
Hang on.
Hang on with 2 hands. 1st and 10 from the 35, from the plus 35 for Godinez. The I formation, same formation. Deep man takes it. This is Raya. Raya clawing for yards here, scratching what he can get, maybe 2 yards as he gets thrown to the kind of like goes down kind of laterally there. Semi-hobbling there is Justin Young there. Looks like he's okay, but Justin is a little bit with tender feet there. Maybe they'll. Now they're going to keep him in the game. They're not going to call timeout. So 2nd down and 6, about 4 yards gain on that play. Again, the clock continues to tick. I know that the Jaguars, I think they have at least 1 timeout remaining, but they got to get time to get that ball back to do something with it if they stop him here. Trying to wrap him up from behind there goes Canary Drayton. Drayton latches onto the waist of the ball carrier and wasn't about to let him go. Godinez pushes it out to about the 28-yard line. Well, they'll mark it for about a 1.5 yard, maybe a 2 yard gain, if that. And we have a player down. It's Godinez player, slow to get up. Ooh, looks like it's his right leg or something. And who is that? That's number 5. Okay, that's Raya. Raya kind of semi-hobbling off the field, not 100%. I'm sure it's not a serious injury as he's able to get off by himself, but he's just a little bit banged up. Probably hurt his leg or something. Looked like it might have been his shin or something. We'll find out later. 3rd down and 5 yards to go. We're inside, we're at 1:30 and ticking here. Left in the game. Godinez just burning the clock, burning the drive, burning the plays here. Wing to the left, double tight ends, I formation again. Taking their old sweet time with the play clock too. Why not? Burn every second you can. Make that clock your friend. Down the middle they go. Look out! Look out! As a fake give and the quarterback keeps it. This is Husar fighting off one tackler as he high steps his way all the way down about the 10-yard line before he's finally flattened. But not before the damage is done. It's a 1st down. And the Godinez Grizzlies, look out. Take firmer control as this game goes on. They got it smack dab at the 10. That was about a 15-yard run there. Listen to this crowd.
I think I'm smelling an upset here, Peter.
Godinez Grizzlies are 1-2. They're trying to even their record at 500. They're trying to beat the Segerson Jaguars for about the first time in about 4 years. And they can smell victory right now. Just hang on that ball. maintain possession.
They could take a knee and run the game out.
Yes, they could. I don't think I think Sigurdsson may have one timeout remaining, and that's it. I think that's about it. They do take a knee. They don't have to score. They're in the lead right now, and they just want to work the clock. That's all they got to do. We have 39 seconds and counting right now. And I guess the Jaguars, if they have the timeout, they're not going to call it. Maybe they're out of timeouts. We have 30 seconds and counting right now. You can hear the home crowd already yelling and screaming here. They're going to have to probably win one more play before it's over. I think they got to run one more play because of the play clock. Sigurdsson taking their time to line up here. Godinez, they're all bunching up like they're just going to protect the football here and protect the quarterback. They do take the knee. A flag goes down probably for too much time, so they'll have to run one more play. Yep, it's too much time against Godinez, so I'm not surprised that happened. We're taking way too much time to set up. But all they got to do is take another knee here, John. The game is theirs. Barring an unforeseen disaster, this game is theirs. And we've seen a good one here tonight. We didn't see much tossing, much throwing, much passes, but you know what? We didn't need to. We saw two schools that know how to run the football, know how to play defense, slug it out in the trenches, and the victor is the Godinez Grizzlies in a big way here in a thrilling football game, 22-16, in a game that had its share of big hits, interesting runs, exciting football, a few mistakes, but that was one for that. This was an interesting football game from start to finish. There wasn't a boring quarter, whole game long.
No, you know what? It was a very exciting game. You know, once again, I mentioned before, it came down to the control of the trenches. Who controlled the line, who won the game. Both teams were solid running games, but it seemed like, you know, Sigurdsson just didn't have their holes and didn't fill their blocking, where Godinez, they took advantage of everything they could. And
which the Godinez Grizzlies are in, beating a better opponent here tonight, you could argue a more talented opponent, come on with the victory, and they did it in their fashion, in their way, running the ball in a very big way, John. But what my point is that this could be a bit of a warning shot out to the rest of the league, the Orange Coast League, that this is the Godinez Grizzlies could be a contender in their league once league play begins. Well, like I said, John, they slugged it out in the trenches. They got the best of the offensive line, the defensive line play here tonight. That's the reason why they came up a winner, 22-16. They took firm command in the beginning of the first quarter. The game was tightening up as it went, but you know what? They won the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter, they didn't score, but the point is, they got control of the football. They got control of the football game by running their kind of game, running the plays, burning the clock, and at the end of the game, that was what came up big for them, and they walk out of here with the victory. I should say they run out of here with the victory tonight, running the ball as well as they did here tonight.
Well, every cloud has a silver lining. I think for Sigurdsson to look at it is that they showed fortitude. They pretty much got demeaned in the first half. I mean, they got ran over, but the second half they came back. They showed their stamina. They showed their heart that they wanted to win this game, and they almost put it together. A couple costly mistakes is going to hurt any team, but they showed that they have that will, and that in the end, when they get into league play, is going to carry them through. And I think that's what's a big key, and that's what they can take out of this game as a positive.
Well, if I'm Costa Mesa High School, I'm Laguna Beach High School, I'm Saddleback, the other schools in the Orange Coast League. Be careful. These guys, the Godinez Grizzlies, they're only 2-2, but still, you know what? They could be a contender in that league. Keep an eye on them. Let's give some more credit where credit is due. The offensive coaching staff here, Coach K, of course, is a offensive coordinator, and the offensive line coach, Tom Heatington, did a good job of prepping their guys. Their offensive lineman, again, Alfredo Goggles is his middle name, Gallardo, Jason Arevalo, Alfonso Garcia, Kevin Ramirez, and Jose Vera, and your tight end is Oscar Solano. They did a great job up front blocking for their guys here tonight, especially for Ryan in the backfield. I'm sure that Ryan and everybody else out of the offensive backfield will give them as much credit as we are here tonight. And also, there was a bunch of platooning going on for a good portion of the game, too. It's not always the same 5 guys on that front offensive line, so that makes for fresher play, and you're not somebody who's worn out for the rest of the game. And they do have some both-way players, Godinez does, but not them are all on offensive and defensive line. So they had some relatively fresh bodies in there, because it was actually about 7 or 8 guys they used on the line, but those are the main starters at the beginning of the game. So they have some depth at defensive line. That means a lot with a team like this that is run heavy.
Well, you know, in my opinion, I think that quarterback and running back for Godinez should take that offensive offensive line out to a nice steak dinner.
I would do that too. If
I think they did a really good job and protected and opened holes and made it easy.
Or at least invite him to his house and his mom fire up a night, or for pizza or some enchiladas or whatever.
Exactly.
Well, we saw a good one here tonight, and the streak is broken. Godina's Grizzlies in an exciting game here. We didn't see much passing, but we didn't have to. And again, like I said, you don't have to have a high-scoring game to have an exciting game. We had one here tonight. They come up on top, 22-16. They never trailed. They led the game the whole way. The tightest lead that they had was 3 points, but they come out a victory here tonight, 22-16, in a hard-fought game that was well deserved. This was a fun one from start to finish. We were certainly glad to have you with us here on Channel 31 and be out here for it. Tune in next week. We should be out there to Santa Ana Junior College field, or I should say Santa Ana Stadium, for Saddleback versus Century next week. I think we're going to be covering that one. So we'll be seeing you for next week's football game. But we want to thank everybody for joining us here on Channel 31 SAUSD TV. And we want to thank our crew for shooting the game here tonight. My name is Peter Pigskin Hebda, here along with John Huzar, with John Harkar, the Hitman Harkar. We want to thank everybody for joining us. Have a good night. It was a fun one. We'll see you next week.
That was a good time game.
I enjoyed that.
I'll give you that much. That was a lot better.
That's what it's all about.
A lot better than last week.
Yes, it was. I enjoyed that one, John. You did a great job as always, buddy.
I just followed in my